Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to make billions of dollars when it comes out. There's no point in even denying this anymore. The new trailer dropped, I know you saw it already, and now, like always, Rockstar has completely devoured the entire landscape of gaming conversation all over again by dropping a trailer just like that. And here's the thing about Grand Theft Auto, guys. I genuinely don't think there's any one game that is as prominent or popular as it is right now. Well, maybe one actually, that being Minecraft. But besides Minecraft, GTA is kind of the gold standard that the entire industry looks at and just gawks in majestic brilliance. But here's the thing, while players like you and me are licking our lips and rubbing our hands together staring at GTA 6 ready to tear that sucker apart like a rotisserie chicken, the industry is devilishly scared of GTA 6, and the reality is this: when this game drops, it's going to nuke the entire industry. Let me explain to you what I mean. You see, GTA 6 is going to be the best-selling single video game release of all time when it releases. We also now have a release date, which is May 2026. That tells me that if Rockstar sticks to that date 100%, which is unlikely, let's be real, this is Rockstar we're talking about here, but if Rockstar sticks to their May 26, 2026 release date, you can bet your sweet butt cheeks that every single other publisher and developer is going to completely avoid releasing anything within a month before or even after GTA 6 releases. And the reasoning is simple, because whatever you're releasing will be completely and utterly eclipsed by Rockstar's latest game, no matter how prominent or good your game even looks, because nobody is going to care knowing that Rockstar is about to drop the entirety of Vice City on people's heads when it happens. I gotta say though, looking at this trailer, oh boy, does it look good. Vice City is a dope reimagining of Miami, and it looks great to see on current gen hardware. It's awesome to see that classic city we all know way back from the PS2 getting remade and expanded like this in GTA 6. But there's also some rumors floating about and more. Firstly, Grum said he talked to people who are working at Rockstar on GTA 6 right now. According to what Grum said on Twitter, the game is obviously fully playable from start to finish, and Rockstar is now taking this final year of development to smooth out any bugs and glitches to ensure that this game launches feature complete and as perfect as it can humanly possibly be. They're in the home stretch pretty much. Beyond this, Grum said that the developers at Rockstar aren't actually sure if there's any DI slop in the game or not, which I know, that sounds weird. How can you work on something for so long and have no idea what's even in it? The truth, and this really isn't just Rockstar, I even reported on this with Ubisoft 2 months back, is that these companies are enormous, and they oftentimes don't know the full scope of the game that they're working on besides the game director and the other leads pretty much. Especially when games are this big, whatever changes you want to implement from a grunt level has got to be okayed by the supervisor, who then sends it to their boss, who then has to okay it, and then send it to the higher up, and then yada yada yada, and eventually the people at the very top see that change suggested, and then they either go yes or no, and then it trickles down like piss in a toilet all the way down again. So case in point, games of this magnitude take a lot of time to make, not only because they're the size of literal cities, but because they're dev teams and the protocols that make everything very, very hard to implement across the board. According to Grums as well, most devs working on this game don't even know the full story of GTA 6 or what really even happens to any of these characters. It's frankly just too big of a game, unless you're at the top, I guess, or working on the story yourself. You're either just kind of making assets and whatnot and just, going about your day. Probably explains why many AAA games have less passion than, say, your indie games, because the games aren't even being treated as art anymore. It's more like an assembly line in a factory pretty much, and Grum said that what he heard from multiple sources is that GTA 6's budget, as it's seen here, is around $2 billion. Yeah, I know. Their budget is pretty much what Infinity War made at the box office, and before you ask, no, there's never been a game that has had a budget of that magnitude before. For reference, Grand Theft Auto 5 had a budget of $137 million American, and its marketing costs were somewhere in the $170 million mark, meaning overall GTA 5 costed Rockstar around $265 million from start to finish, pretty much. Of course, if you adjust that for inflation, I would wager the same amount of money would balloon that budget to something like maybe 500 plus million, but regardless, I want you guys to know either way, GTA 5 had a $137 million budget, and GTA 6 is $2 billion, dude. That is insane, no matter how you slice it. To say there's bloat and inflated prices to everything, that is an understatement. However, in GTA 6's case, this number, while a lot, really isn't that much for this game, let's be honest. Because you ask me, when this game officially drops, they're gonna make their budget back in one day, and no, I am not kidding either. Given the fact that GTA 5 sold something like 210 million copies in its entire existence, that kind of tells you everything you need to know. And 12 years onward since GTA 5 released, and that game is regularly in the top 10 selling games of the year every single year over and over again. It's also in the top 10 selling games every month too. Go look it up, I'm not lying. But the point is that Rockstar can afford this, and they will make so much money back. It'll be R to the tarded when it drops, with how absurdly high the numbers are going to be for this game. And look at this article from March 2025 from Kotaku that's titled, "Big publishers and studios are scrambling to avoid GTA 6's launch. Some live service devs are even planning to delay major updates based on Rockstar's plans." And this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I mean when I say this game will nuke the industry into the stratosphere when it finally drops. Kotaku references a reporter named Christopher Dring, who runs a podcast called The Game Business. And in this podcast, Dring spoke to various executives who work at and control many of the big game companies that you all know. While these executives remained anonymous for obvious reasons, their general consensus is that all of these companies and publishers, they all want to avoid GTA 6's drop like it's the literal plague, as one anonymous executive stated. "We don't want to be anywhere near GTA 6. We are working up multiple different plans for our titles." Here's some more from another executive, which also reads, "Another executive at a big company told the outlet that it's tough out there even without GTA 6 around. It's immensely difficult to find free time for new games to shine," they said, and added that free time is the real scarcity for us, not money. And what this executive said is very true, and this is the other big reason why GTA 6 will completely and utterly nuke the entire industry and could in theory lead to many other game studios and even their publishers. Let's just say it, guys, they're gonna die pretty much. And you're probably thinking, oh, he's speaking in hyperboles. Let me explain before you crucify me. You see, the entire industry is pretty much fighting tooth and nail for your eyeballs and your game time 100% of the time, 24/7. Live service games, which are rampant, from Call of Duty Black Ops 6, actually, that is a really good example of this. So I'm going to use that to compare it to GTA here if you don't mind. So when a new Call of Duty releases, what usually happens? It makes a lot of money, yes, but what does it also do to the surrounding live service titles? I'm talking Fortnite, Apex, Valorant, or even the more lesser known ones, not to mention the single player games that release and such around them too. We know that when Call of Duty drops, people tend to drop whatever it is that they're doing or interacting with media-wise, and then they just spend their time on the latest Call of Duty. As we can see here from GameWorldObserver.com last year when Black Ops 6 released, that game became the fastest selling title in that entire franchise and blew the series up to 500 million copies sold worldwide for COD as a series. So when Call of Duty drops, people run to play it, and this then leaves a bunch of games having their player count, their impressions, their overall gameplay sessions and interactions go from healthy to nosediving when Activision Blizzard drops a new Call of Duty game. And this happens every year, as we all know. Call of Duty is usually the best-selling game of the year every year, although sometimes it does get beat, like Hogwarts Legacy, for example. But the point is that when Call of Duty drops, the industry worsens because the health and longevity of the other games surrounding it suffer to make way for Call of Duty's feasting, if you will. So now, take what I just said with Call of Duty, but replace it with the even larger, way more highly anticipated and far more expensive Grand Theft Auto 6. And you tell me, what do you think will happen when that drops? It's simple. Every single live service game from Call of Duty to Fortnite and more, as well as any of your single player games, especially the indies too, they will all have their gameplay times, their money, their attention, and their stats just ripped from them and thrown directly at GTA 6. Because Grand Theft Auto 6 will, like I said, completely devour the entirety of the gaming conversation and playtime of pretty much every single person on planet Earth, whether you want to admit it or not when it drops next year, assuming that, it sticks with its launch date. But here's the thing with GTA 6, right? This is not the kind of game like GTA 5 before it, where it just drops, makes a bunch of money, people beat the campaign and go, that was fun, and return to, say, Fortnite or, Mass Effect Effect or Oblivion. No, remember that the big money maker for Rockstar is in fact of course GTA Online, which has become the true cash cow of the franchise for Rockstar and Take-Two. The money they make just from that game itself is pretty much just pocket change in the grand scheme of things if you look at it, because the online, like GTA 5, will feature all the bells and whistles that you've come to expect: a full open world, game lobbies, harassing and griefing other players like memes, team deathmatch, racing lobbies, maybe some poker or blackjack, and all the other gambling stuff. See, the thing about GTA is that it's uniquely positioned not only as a game, but a literal second life, if you will, I think that's a good way to put it, that it can and will replace many people's attentions for not just a week or a month. We're talking years, guys. As you can see from this article that dropped recently, which is already technically out of date because it says 2025, but Rockstar just confirmed they're launching in 2026, but whatever, it still tracks anyways. Basically, analysts believe that when GTA 6 drops, it will completely devour the industry's revenue landscape in every single way. According to the analysts in this article, they predict that the game will generate roughly $2.7 billion in sales on launch day alone, which means yes, they will make their entire budget back in one day or less, and this is a full year before releasing, which is what this data says. So of course, once we get closer to the release date, I imagine that the actual revenue will just balloon far past this due to the hype. So the point is that it will do very well, insanely well. And for those who've also forgotten, GTA 5 made about $1 billion in revenue within 3 days of sale back in 2013, which is crazy by that time standards too. As Apellion CEO Matthew Ball said here in the article, for the rest of the market, GTA's delay provides much needed, though only temporary oxygen. The title was expected to devour billions of dollars in consumer spend, so while you as the player are smacking your lips looking at how tasty GTA 6 looks, the industry at large, they're terrified of this game, because when a game of this magnitude drops, it can and it will kill other games around it. We know that live service titles live and breathe based on their player counts. Once a game starts doing poorly, publishers are quick to pull the plug because of how expensive that it is to keep these sorts of games alive and running properly if the revenue just isn't coming in. Obviously, Fortnite will be okay. It's Fortnite. Epic owns them. Epic's Unreal Engine is used by basically everybody too. So while sure, okay, Fortnite will plummet in numbers, that game will still be fine, mostly. However, for the rest of the games out there, I am not so sure, because once GTA 6 drops, why would anyone want to play, say, Apex or Valorant or hell, even Marvel Rivals? Sure, I know people will say they're different genres, kind of true, but inevitably all those games and more will lose their pants when everyone just migrates over regardless due to the hype. It's like airing your TV show's first episode, which really matters, but you do it during the exact same time slot as when like the Super Bowl is airing pretty much. You're not going to get many viewers because everyone is obviously too busy watching for the Super Bowl commercials and you know who wins the match. Which is why when events like that happen, or say when Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars release, it would be in every studio's best interest to just get the hell out of Dodge before those movies devour the market share too. And GTA is the same thing, but if it was like Super Saiyan and holding the Infinity Gauntlet with every stone in it too. Because nothing is going to challenge this game when it releases, and I mean all media, not just video games. There's going to literally be no reason in releasing a new, game or movie or TV show or whatever once this game officially drops for at least a month, if not more after release, and I'm not kidding. And if any publisher thinks that it's a good idea to maybe release their game a week or two before GTA 6, if you're a live service game and you do anything like that, dude, you are dead. I'm just gonna say it how it is, man, and if you release after GTA 6, your game better be the second coming of Christ himself, wrapped in the most excellent game ever crafted for people to lay their eyes on, or you're dead on arrival too. I should probably also show you guys how much money GTA Online for GTA 5 has made since inception till now too. So here's a graph on screen that details how users have spent their money on GTA Online over the past 12 years. In total, Rockstar has made about $9.54 billion in revenue off of GTA Online through microtransactions and more. Yes, it is, by definition, a live service game, and yeah, it's made more money consistently than most, if not all, live service games pretty much for the past decade and then some. So now they finally have a new game. What do you think will happen? Pretty much the same thing, just more money, obviously. They're going to rob the industry of eyes, time, and money like bandits pretty much, and there's nothing that anybody's going to be able to do about it either. But there was another interesting thing that was being noticed, and credit to Hypnotic, here's his Twitter on screen here for this one, who noticed it. He said in one of his videos that the tone and style of the latest GTA 6 trailer, it felt completely different compared to the original, and he's right. So if you compare the first trailer for GTA 6, there's a certain tone to it. It's female-led protagonist, lots of pink and purple hues to everything, and the male character, while he's present, is kind of just set to the back for the female character to shine instead. It felt very, how do I put this, pre-Gamergate-like with how they were pushing the game, where publishers and studios felt like every game needed to feature a woman prominently and have this weird, suspicious purple and pink hue to literally everything. And that pink-purple hue that Hypnotic brought up is kind of true. That same color scheme has been attached to way too many failures in the past too. We're talking Suicide Squad, Dustborn, Lost Records, Life is Strange, and so many other games. Like, go look at Dragon Age Veilguard too. That was draped in purple and pink colors everywhere. It was like this weird subconscious way of painting these games in these lights and colors. Two, I can only call it the bisexual lighting scheme pretty much, like to signify to other people like them that, hey, they're making this game for that community. And like I said, GTA 6's first trailer had that same running theme in it somewhat, but then you see this new trailer that just came out and boom, there's no bisexual lighting, there's no purple and pinks, it looks realistic and it looks grounded. Everything is draped in warm oranges and reds and golds, and it looks like a real place again, and this has caused people online, and look, I'm not saying it is 100%, okay, don't shoot the messenger here, but I'm just saying people on Twitter think that Rockstar is taking this extra year to not just polish the game, but possibly also remove any DI slop from it as well. And with how the industry is looking and where it's heading, yeah, that's probably the smart move to do if we're being real. Because I should remind people that me and Francesco Solbach of that Park Place did a joint investigation and exposed, a few months ago, how Rockstar was forcing their white employees into unconscious bias training in the past. And Francesco and I exposed how multiple Rockstar employees, all white except maybe one or two who were brown people, they were all subjected to this unconscious bias training at Rockstar, and that it was mandatory for them to do. The course that they were forced to take, which is this one on screen here, which is also just titled Unconscious Bias, was Stacey Gordon, and it was basically an online course that employees were specifically white, like 99% of the time, that were being forced to sit through to pretty much, shift their brains into realizing that they were actually racist all along and had to submit to other kinds of people pretty much. Yeah, it was brainwashing, and I have no doubt this sort of slop affected the game in some way. But this training and viewpoint was far more prominent and spread throughout the industry before Gamergate, kind of destroyed it all. So while I'm not saying 100% that, Rockstar is spending a year to remove the DEI stuff, I am just saying that what Hypnotic brought up, where he said the tone of this new trailer was far more in line with, say, old school GTA games, and by that I mean it prominently features a male protagonist showing the crime and splendor of Vice City, not to mention the new poster for the game is seen here, clearly shows that Jason, that's the guy that you play in the forefront of the poster, taking action, insinuating that he is the main character of this game and not Lucia. But I have a creeping suspicious feeling it's a diversion and Lucia, or Lucia, however you say her name, is the real main character myself. But regardless, it's clear that Rockstar is changing how they're promoting this game based on what has happened in the industry and the string of layoffs and losses. The entire thing has kind of gone through from the flops and rejections of the industry from stuff like Concord and more. And we're seeing this pivot back to let's feature strong male protagonists again and attractive women. Cause that's the other thing I noticed about this new GTA trailer, which is that Rockstar ensures to show both Jason and Lucia looking attractive for both the male and female gamers alike. Cause looking at how Jason and Lucia look in that trailer, they don't convey what I can only call was the industry standard for game characters from 2020 to 2024 Western-wise pretty much. Which was that before, you had gender ambiguous blobs and people who looked neither fully male or female. Just go look at Concord or Dustborn again to see what I mean. But go take one look at Jason and you're like, yeah, that's a fit dude who looks like he can cause some damage. And then you go look at Lucia and you go, yeah, she's fit, she looks strong, she's good looking, she takes care of herself. She's kind of nothing like what the Western game industry has been pushing for a long time now at all, really. And I think that's all by design, mind you. They want to ensure there's as little road bumps as humanly possible between them and the people buying this game. Because anyone with half a brain can go look at the backlash other games have received and think, yeah, We probably should ensure we don't have anything like that happening to us. And look, if you want to make money, which GTA will no matter what, but if you want to make the absolute maximum amount of impact possible when this drops, you kinda got to ensure you don't alienate absolutely anybody when it comes to how you market this game. Because guys want strong male characters and attractive women, and yeah, one look at GTA 6's new trailer and it's the blueprint in action working as intended. And if Rockstar is smart, which I think they are, they will lean further into that male-dominated forward action idea when promoting this game in the future if they want to make all of the money and then some. And also, the website for GTA also got updated too, so now we have full names. The main guy is Jason Duval. Here's what the website says about him. Jason wants an easy life, but things just keep getting harder. Jason grew up around grifters and crooks. After a stint in the army trying to shake off his troubled teens, he found himself in the Keys doing what he knows best, working for local drug runners. It might be time to try something new. Smart, so they set him up with previous army experience, so it's believable that he can handle guns and fighting. That's a good idea. And here's the female character bio next. Her name is Lucia Caminos, or Lucia Caminos. Anyway, here's what it says. Lucia's father taught her to fight as soon as she could walk. Life has been coming at her swinging ever since. Fighting for her family landed her in the Leonida Penitentiary. Sheer luck got her out. Lucia's learned her lesson. Only smart moves from here. So, they also smartly set her up to know how to fight, and she's been tough her whole life. Good idea too. And this is, if you ask me, it's a capable duo of characters, but Rockstar is being smart here. And they're not making Lucia ugly or man-like at all. Despite being tough, she's still in tune with her feminine side, as you can see in the trailer all throughout. You ask me? Very, very smart of Rockstar to do that here. We also got what looks like Jason's guy in the chair to his Batman, who's named Cal Hampton, and his bio reads, "What if everything on the internet was true? Jason's friend and a fellow associate of Brian's. Cal feels safest hanging at home, snooping on Coast Guard comms with a few beers and some private browser tabs open." So this is definitely your comic relief character. Again, smart. He also reminds you of Maddie Matheson. Literally looks just like him too. Good idea again on Rockstar's part. There's other characters too, from drug runners, a bank robber, gangsters, and would-be pop stars, but I won't show you all of them. You can just go look them up yourself if you want to. And also, for anyone wondering exactly what this is releasing on when it comes out, as seen here near the bottom of the website, it's confirmed on PS5 and Xbox, but no PC at release. Sorry. Yeah, I know. Just like previous times they've released their games, it's the same way again. Consoles first and then PC in the future. This is actually worse in a way, not for PC, but the industry again. Because now they got to avoid not one, but two different release windows due to GTA 6 now. You're going to have the console devouring, that is bad enough, where tons of studios will lose money and, impressions. But now they got to steer clear of the PC release too when that releases new games. Because when this drops on PC, most of Steam will be playing it as well, you better believe it. But seeing that new trailer, it makes me think that GTA 6 is Rockstar saying that we're done with the DEI nonsense. And for years, the gaming industry's been infected with this weird, sanitized, don't offend anyone vibe. We all know it. And with games like Concord and Dustborn trying to lecture us on pronouns and social justice in the past, and guess what? They all crashed harder than a drunk NPC in a stolen cop car pretty much. Reminder though that Concord, that peaked at 697 players on Steam, and Dustborn a whopping 83 players. Dude, my grandma's knitting club has a bigger Discord server and she's dead. So if they're smart, GTA 6 could be a middle finger to all of that and more, and here's hoping that Rockstar's ditching the whole punch down humor restrictions that had a lot of fans worried in the past, because back in 2022, Bloomberg reported that Rockstar was softening GTA 6's edge to avoid mocking marginalized groups, and fans lost it, and rightfully so, because they were thinking that Vice City was going to turn into like a vegan co-op with mandatory sensitivity training instead, but here's hoping that they turned course. Although I do gotta remind you all that GTA 5 did quietly remove transphobic content in 2022 as seen here, which was like drag queen NPCs and dialogue that was mocking gender identity after pressure from groups like Out Making Games. People called it censorship, and then Rockstar could, maybe be taking note here to not do that in the future. But now with GTA 6's trailers showing a diverse Vice City, you have black people, Hispanics, and yes, even white people too, all reflecting Miami's real demographics, not some forced DEI checklist, hopefully anyway. I just really hope that Rockstar has learned their lesson and don't instead lecture you about microaggressions or some other stupid nonsense. And hopefully the humor is Rockstar just roasting everyone, and I mean influencers, crypto bros, Florida man, maybe even Twitter's own culture warriors too. And they're not and should never be picking a side, because Rockstar should instead just be tossing Molotovs at the whole circus. And if they want maximum impact, this should be Grand Theft Auto returning to its South Park-esque roots, where nobody nobody's safe, and that's why people love it so much. And as you can see, when this game releases, it will nuke the entire industry. There's no doubt about it. And I fully expect other games around it to die once it releases or never fully recover, because once this is available, that's it, guys. Its teeth will sink in, people will invest into it, and then it's off to the races for Rockstar to make more inevitable billions as the other companies and games wither up and die due to the lack of interest or support going forward. And I guess before I go, do you see that as a problem or not? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching, subscribe, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.